Okay, so here we are with Clinton, and we're looking at the KFX 450R Kawasaki
2008 model.
And I had issues with this bike. It just kind of came out of nowhere. It was just backfiring and wasn't idling. You had to hold the throttle about halfway open just to keep it running. And we never had problems with this bike. It was just bulletproof. So I called my buddy Clinton here, which is a master mechanic on these things, and I said, Clinton, we had some issues with this. And so what do you think? What are you working on?
Well, I have a sneaking suspicion that we have some ethanol buildup in the injector.
Yeah.
And over the course of it just being kind of muddy on the body, it probably got some residue in the tank with some dirt. And we got to get the inside the throttle body to get the injector pulled out and do some just cleaning on it overall. We're just going to go through and do that. We were going to get video feed of it earlier, but we were talking so much that we didn't get it, so we're going to do this halfway through.
Whoops! You know? Oh, so you already took it apart?
Yeah, it's that bad.
And Clinton, I know that I've had a lot of different mechanics that worked on all my different crazy Miller Family Farm Trust play toys, but Clinton is really absolutely amazing. If you guys are thinking about or are in Central Florida and have a project, Clinton is the go-to guy. What's your telephone number, Clinton?
Telephone's 315-750-5063, and you can text or call me on that.
Awesome. And of course, you'll always treat our Miller Family Farm people with just like great respect and give them great pricing. And
I treat every single machine that I work on for my clients as if I was going to be riding them to go on the trail.
Yay! Yes.
So.
Isn't that the worst thing when you get your bike? You take a week to plan it out. You go out on the trail and it doesn't run.
Oh yeah, it's nothing worse than that.
It sucks.
I hear you there.
Okay, so what are you doing? Just give us a quick overview. I don't want to interrupt you too much.
Yeah, no worries. First things first is we pulled the injector port here, the control for that. We pulled the hose off of the tank because it's a main feed. Realize that this has the actual throttle adjustment, idle adjustment in there, so we got to get that taken off, and I'm going to clean inside there. We got a port and an orifice in here. We got to get in there and clean that. Basically just general overall. And then I'm going to pull the injector, and we're going to soak the injector in some carb injector cleaner so we can get those needles going.
Yeah.
Hopefully that'll clean it up a little bit and make it, come back to life and idle a bit more.
Yeah. So I was telling Clinton, I'm like, well, why don't we just put new parts on this? Because I have a guy that's actually going to buy this for $4,750 here coming up in a couple of days. And so I just want to make sure it ran perfectly. But Clinton's like, just save your money. This is this is easy to do. So so it was great.
A good cleaning go through once and brings it right back to life. Ethanol these days, ethanol that's in a fuel is really hard on these small injectors for these Kawasaki's.
I don't remember ever putting ethanol in there, but the guy before me may have.
Yeah,
so
it does happen. You get the little particulates and they turn into like a rubbery substance and they get stuck on that injector point. And then, if you don't send the ethanol neutralizer through, it'll build up and then they crystallize over time from sitting. So even if it was put in there at any point in time, it's going to come across like that. So
this looks like he did a lot of work in removing all this, but it's really only been about 10 or 15 minutes. So even though that looks like you missed a lot on the video, there's really not that much going on. He's just getting into it right now.
Yep, you actually only have about 6 bolts. There's 2 here, 1 on this side, 1 on this side, and you have 2 bolts here, and 2 right here on this front point. And this actually clip comes off. It's a 2-piece front end. You can see the top part of it right there, and then you got your bottom side flares right there. The bottom side flares, it just comes off, takes about 5 minutes to remove. And the tank is actually 2 bolts that bolt in right about here. And you got this plate cover for a heat guard for the bottom of the tank's got to go in. You make sure you put that back, otherwise you get into some issues.
Yeah.
And your line for your high pressure for your fuel pump is another one. Something else I would add into this that we're going to get into after I get through cleaning the injectors, we're actually going to get inside this tank. This tank, even though it seems like a traditional 4-wheeler tank, it has a high pressure fuel pump in the bottom of it. And there's a good chance that pump could be actually gummed up as well with the ethanol. So we're going to have to go through that.
I've actually heard that before, that those do go out and you have to either clean them or replace them.
It's truth. It happens. I'm not a big fan of that ethanol stuff, but
I know. I don't think anybody is. I hope Trump hurry up and he's talking about eliminating the ethanol, but now that he's got the farmers off of life support and they're making good money again, he might just eliminate that whole ethanol in the gas.
Well, if they start running hemp in there,
good idea. Okay, so we'll check back in like 10 minutes with the video here, and we'll see what we got done.
Sounds good. All right, so we're currently pretty much cleaned up with the injector system on it. I took the injector apart and checked the spray ratio on it by doing a cold start with the spark plug off and just checking the cycles on that. Cleaned out all of the components inside that throttle body area.
Yep.
And then checked the hosing and the pump system inside the tank, and now we're going to put it back together, and we're actually going to run some of this stuff called B12. It's awesome. Don't ever drop it on your shoes. It'll hurt like hell.
And what's awesome about it? I know we just walked up to the store and got that, but tell me why you're like, man, we have to get this. Like, what's awesome about it?
I've seen it actually work in many different applications, but it's really effective in your injectors. And what it does is it's almost like paint thinner. It has a really high caustic feature to it, and it breaks down ethanol without having to really get in there and dig it apart.
That is so good to know. So it might save you all that work.
Yeah, it actually is an amazing tool. But the secret to working with this stuff is, and they don't really explain it because it's as used, but by trial and error of working with it, you do not want to put too much in your fuel tank, because if you put too much in the fuel tank, it'll actually eat the rubber washers and stuff inside.
Whoa, that's good to know.
So
thank you for that.
With something like this, you only want to use about...
We got, what, like a 2-gallon tank?
Yeah, it's like a 2.2 gallon tank, I believe, on this.
Yeah.
You only want to run about 2 ounces worth of the cleaner in this.
2 ounces, and that's kind of like the maximum?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the maximum for this size. This stuff is actually meant for like dumping it into the fuel as like, you know, putting it in a whole car. But you're talking 26 gallons, so something like this. But if you do push it, I have had it happen where the carburetor actually started leaking because it ate the rubber off the bottom of the carburetor when I made I made it too rich.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is the stuff right here. You got it here.
Right there. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to put this back together, and we're going to put a little of that in the fuel, and then we're going to fire it up, and we'll be back with the video, and we'll see how we did.
We're going to go tear ass around the...
Yeah, drive in the neighborhood, in the city on a quad. Okay. How are we doing, Clinton?
We're doing all right. Went through, put the B12 that I suggested for the injector cleaner.
Yep.
And we did a cycle run, and it runs great. As the four-wheeler started up, it started cutting out at the lower part of the throttle position, just like we predicted.
Yes.
And all I did was sit there and let it get warm, and we spiked the throttle a few times and started pushing all that stuff out.
Yes.
We actually blew a 12-inch flame out the back a few times, because this stuff is potent as hell.
Flames are fun.
Yeah, flames are fun. We got into it though, and after every time we revved it, probably did it about 10 or 15 times, the injector started becoming more and more smooth over and quicker on the takeoff point.
Yeah.
And so that happened, and well, we're gonna put her back together.
All right.
Something else I forgot to mention in the other video, or early on in our video over this process, is this stuff here. Carb cleaner from 3M.
Yes.
It is amazing. It literally has probably the best cleaning qualities of any of the carburetor products I've ever seen out there, and I do a lot of carburetor repairs.
Yeah.
So it's just outstanding. The first time I used it, I sprayed it in some old carburetors, and it just cleaned right out in its chrome, and I was like, what?
Yeah.
So,
you know, it's awesome because, Clinton, we were talking when you're just opening this bike up, just not even like an hour ago. It doesn't take long to do this. First thing is do it. Do the work, buy the products, and do the work. But when I was talking to Clinton, I was like, hey, let's just put a new fuel injector in there. And Clinton's like, yeah, like OEM could be as much as $250, you know. But how much do we have it? Like, we used about 1/3 of a can of that.
1/3 of the 3M, yep. And with these two combined with this overall cleaning of the system and this one inside of the injector to run it through with a little bit of gas, about like I said, 2 ounces inside of 2.2 gallons.
Yeah, you'll be blowing flames.
It blew flames, and she's
comes back to a full idle response. The throttle response is great.
It's amazing. Yeah. So we're gonna pretty soon here, and a little bit farther down the video, we might do a demo of after it's all said and done. I got to put it back together. And,
we have to do that?
Yeah, maybe.
All right,
sure. The fun of doing this.
That's right.
Gotta ride it.
Yes. I thought half the fun was breaking it.
It's either that or having a few beers during the process.
That's good. Yes. So the 3M, you just, what you did was you pulled the fuel injector out, you cleaned it out, both the housing and the fuel injector with the 3M product.
Yep, the throttle body spot where the butterfly valve sits inside, we used the 3M cleaner inside of that. I also sprayed out the hose, the high pressure fuel line hose, and the pump system in the tank.
Yeah.
And then this is going inside, so this is basically your internal cleaning.
Yep.
This is basically your semi-internal cleaning.
Yeah. Yeah, got it.
Yep.
And Clinton, if you were going to say, if they were thinking about doing it themselves, because half the people are like, I want to find someone to do it, and the other half the people are like, I think I can do it. If you were going to grade this process, that it only took about an hour. I know you're a talented mechanic, but if you're going to grade it from 1 to 10 as far as difficulty, what would you say just for the average wrench cranker?
I would put this at probably a 5 or 6. About
Okay.
that. It's a little involved to get the clips off when it comes to the throttle body where the butterfly valve sits in the injector.
Yeah.
You got to be very careful with those.
Yeah.
You can break them and snap them, and then you're looking.
And
at
then
the
you got
some
some,
more
yeah.
components. So definitely take your time. Get a flat blade screwdriver that has, small in stature, and take your time. Enjoy the process. And I mean, this is half the battle of riding. If you want to go out and ride, you got to know how to repair these machines.
And again, if you're in, do you do all of Central Florida, or is it just Tampa Bay area?
Mostly do Tampa Bay area. Considering if customers want to bring their bikes to me and they want to have the work done down in, I live in St. Pete, but my shop is in downtown St. Pete.
Uh-huh.
I welcome anybody to come by and check out the shop.
And what's your number again?
It's 315 area code 750 and 5063. So
Awesome.
Yep, and I even have an Instagram. It's Clinton J Gardner. Wow.
Yes.
At gmail.com, but it's better just to hit me up on there, and you can see any of my four-wheelers, quads,
Street
stuff like that.
bikes.
Street bikes, yeah, vintage classics. That I
And
work
are
on.
you still doing cars, like really high-end cars? Or
I mean, I work on some.
Yeah.
There isn't a whole lot of those right now. I'm kind of tailoring it towards the vintage motorcycle industry right now.
Yeah.
And customization. So, but I can work on them.
Yeah, I know you can.
I'm open for the opportunity.
And I don't know, do you want to say you work on tractors? Because we have tractors here on Miller Family Farm, and you've been working on mine. We'll be
Yeah.
doing a video on that probably here in a couple of days.
Yeah, you're gonna put me out there. I'm gonna be I fix almost anything.
This guy will fix anything. And we love diesel, and we love like fast-moving vehicles
Yes.
and quads and street bikes, and
Yep, both of us. We both drive these big diesel
Yeah.
pickup trucks. We love it. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can work
Awesome.
on tractors. So
Good.
definitely hit me up. Anybody wants to know more information about mechanics work, just hit me up on it, and I'll let you know. We can talk. Feel free to have the opportunity to fix anything that you have in your yard that you need. Toys, mechanic work, tractors, whatever.
All right, so we're going to fire this up now and give it a test drive, or you're going to give it a test drive, and hopefully it doesn't pull wheelies and go crazy like we love to do.
Can't promise that.
Oh, okay, well, pull a wheelie then. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, Clinton.
All right, here
It's
we go.
getting dark. What are we
I
doing?
know. It took a little bit longer to, too much talking.
Yeah,
Anyway,
I know.
give her a fire it up, and hopefully we ran it through a little bit before we started this video, where we cycled through and got the revs to go.
Yep.
It was a little loud for the camera, so we didn't really want to do that quite off because it would have just been aimlessly revving.
Yeah.
Here we go. We're gonna start her up, and hopefully she. Still not quite right because we got to run the system to get that injector to clean up properly. So I'm going to take it around the neighborhood a little bit, get some fluid moving through that injector.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Looks like it's running pretty good.
Really nice. It was one tiny hiccup. I had to go around the block a few more times, but
I understand, yes.
yeah, he's gonna get it cleaned out. It's all about just riding. Clean your ride, man. Like that. Sounds really good though.
It does sound good.
When we were up in Ocala, tearing around the trails, we couldn't even get 50 feet without it. Just
Yeah.
falling out, dying. So
Yeah.
I'm thoroughly impressed. So B12 is the way to go with injector cleaning.
And it pulls up the front end like it's got good response on the throttle, and yeah, that's the way it used to be. So it's amazing how $6 worth of chemicals and an hour and a half or whatever time, like actually just like puts her back to like full power.
Yep, technically, if you really wanted to do the easy way, if you're out on the trail and you start having this, if you went to, you could put it in the system. If you started running into injector issues, and it would just start running smoothly because it's cleaning that injector out.
That's good advice.
So,
And what's it called again?
it's called B12 Chem Tool.
V12 chem tool.
Yep.
And really, don't you think, Clinton, that anybody that has quads or motorcycles should just buy a can of that and keep it like for whatever you have
For everyday
injection
use,
issues?
Of course, because you never know when it's actually going to happen. I mean, if you're running the ethanol stuff in there, I mean, it's just a buildup in a matter of time before that happens, especially if you live up north and you're on and off seasons and you let the four-wheeler sit for a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always good to start out the year with it being a little dry, having
Yep.
it sit in the garage for a long time. It's always good
Yeah.
to run that through the first tank system.
And you know, you brought up something when we took this last to Ocala when we went up there and had a little fun. It just sucks when it doesn't run, and you could just put that V12 in there, and it just like it will clean it out very quickly, and it will save your weekend.
Better to be riding and have that, spend a little bit of money and do that, than to be just having it messing up and screwing up on the trail, and you're having to take it to the dealership and just wasting hundreds of dollars.
Yeah.
I mean, this stuff is amazing. So
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's amazing.
Love it.
So are you, sir?
Yes.
All right, go have a little fun.
Alrighty. Let's see how she
I want to turn your headlights on.
Oh,